Ako lang ba? Tuwing dumadaan dito sa toll, palagi akong kinakabahan. I feel so anxious all the time kasi paraging sablay eh. Ay nako. Sablay again. Sorry, but I'll be starting off the vlog with a rant. Ano ba itong mga RFID natin? Alam mo yun, sobrang parang nawala na yung purpose niya. Diba? The purpose is to speed things up. Pagdaan mo, automatic bubukas na yung gate and you will be deducted yung amount. Pero, ang talas na palaging hindi gumagana yung system nila. Hindi mo naman pwede ibintang dun sa may-ari ng sasakyan na kasalanan nila when sila nagdikit ng sticker, sa kanila yung sticker, sa kanila yung system na nagbabasa. Ang worst pa, tayo naglalagay ng pera natin, iniiwan natin sa kanila, and they can keep it in the bank and make money from the money na tayo naglagay. So, hindi ba dapat barrierless na lang tayo para they have ways to make sure na gumana yung system nila. For one, they can use cameras so para ma-double check kung hindi na charge, the camera will capture your plate number, ma-double check so alam nila kung pwede nila i-charge o hindi. Kasi parang kailangan talaga habulin nila na to make sure everyone pays. It isn't the money they're actually making from putting our money in their banks enough to cover yung mga nakakalusot. But that is not intentional. That's because your system was a failure to begin with. Bakit yung failure nyo? Why won't you make your system more efficient? At hindi kami ang napeperwisyo pero kami ang gumagastos. Ay nako. Pilipinas nga naman. Remember, other countries are not using any more barriers. The cars pass. Kung hindi sila na-capture nung sensor or nung system, that's not a problem. Because this will force actually the one running the toll to put a more efficient system. Hindi yung maglalagay ka ng sablay tapos papahirapan mo lahat. Bakit pa kami naglalagay ng RFID kung more times na hindi gumagana siya and we're creating more traffic? Mas minsan, mas matagal pa yung lane ng RFID pag may sumablay kesa doon sa cash lane. Tapos isipin mo pa, every time we have to slow down, every car that has to slow down, stop, and then go again with these barriers, that's not an efficient way of using gas. Ang mahal ng gas ngayon. Which leads me to actually my reason for the vlog today, which is ang taas ng gas. So, sorry I had to rant, but welcome back to my vlog. And thank you for listening in again. So, if you watched my last vlog about I visited Yamaha to check out the Peugeot. Yes, this is very much related with the sudden increase of gas prices. Isipin mo, within the last few months, gas has, especially the diesel, has went times 4 or even more. I still remember the pickup truck that I drive, which is a diesel. 1617 was the full tank. Ngayon, halos 4,000 na ang full tank. Price has gone up really, really crazy. And like my car, it's not really tipid sa gas. Kumbaga, yung the diesel truck that I'm driving, which is a Ford Ranger, isn't really that efficient. Pero dati forgivable yun kasi ang mura ng diesel. Pero ngayon, ang mahal na. So, it really made me consider, what if I get a daily scooter or a motorcycle to use? So, kaya nga pumasok yung plano ko with the Peugeot. I wouldn't even bother using my big bike for every day. It's too heavy, it's too hot. And it's not really very fuel efficient. This bike that I'm riding only does around 20 kilometers to a liter, so hindi siya really tipid. In fact, some cars on the road are more efficient than this motorcycle. So, nung naisip ko kung kukuha ba ako ng isang daily, one of the scooters that I want to get are neo-retros, meaning the classic looking, diba? So that's why the Peugeot tinignan ko. I also consider the Royal Alloy. The Royal Alloy is not a true classic. This is really a true neo-retro, meaning this is a very modern, very new. Even the brand is pretty new, but was based on a classic scooter, which is, if I'm not mistaken, was based on a Lambretta. So this company was founded fairly new, and they created a classic looking motorcycle with all the modern amenities. Royal Alloy is here already in the Philippines. I know they have the 180, they have the 300, but I haven't seen one in person yet. And when I was checking sa internet, sa dealers nila, parang palagi ang nakikita kong dealer nila is Bulacan. So this made me think about the brand. Baka naman magka-problema ako since may support ba to here locally, since I can't seem to find what is their network. But price, they are more expensive than the Japanese ones, definitely. But compared to the other classic, neo-classic, neo-retro scooters, they are about average, no, not higher, definitely. So I was also considering of course the Lambretta, which the Royal Alloy was based on. This one has a true heritage. This one is a classic, but medyo mahal siya dito. Para siyang one, if I'm not mistaken, is probably the most expensive scooter within the neo-retro lineup. So, since if I'm going to get another motorcycle scooter, medyo I have to consider also the budget, not just the looks. No? Of course, we can't be talking about neo-retro classic-looking scooter without talking about the top of mind when it comes to this type of scooter, which is the Vespa. The Vespa is something I've always wanted. Who wouldn't want to own this iconic brand, the Vespa? But cclately, the prices have skyrocketed. Imagine that the cheapest 150cc Vespa is going to cost you over 200,000. And that's if you can actually get one right now at retail price. No? Yun yung isa pa sa nakakainis minsan. It's so hard to get one. But it's not because there's a lack of units, because there's a lot of brand new ones being sold not by the dealers, by resellers who are charging more. So yung kanina sinasabi ko sa yung over 200,000, dagdagan mo pa ng minimum of 20 to 30,000 before you can actually get one. if you want one now without waiting. And if you want to sign up and if you want to wait, you will probably have to wait a few months because I don't know if it's true, but I always hear that itong mga resellers are the one who gets priority with these dealers because they actually buy a lot, and they buy it for the whole intent of reselling. This is not for personal consumption. This is the part where I'm not really comfortable with. For one, of course, the bike, the scooters are already have increased its price because of the demand. Tapos dadagdagan mo pa ng add up by the resellers. Parang di ko na kaya talaga eh. This is besides the budget Parang ayoko na eh. And then, of course, you want to also look into the second-hand market. But the second-hand market is another issue altogether. Imagine, people are selling the second-hand Vespas now more than a brand new one. So yun ang hindi ko rin minsan maintindihan eh. Is the market really that scarce? Pero kung ganun ka-scarce, why is everyone selling? As in, every day there's going to be a Vespa for sale. Kung talagang gusto ng tao sa people are scarce, the supply is scarce, and people want it, why are people selling it? I understand yung mga gusto mag-upgrade, they bought the 125 and they're selling the 125 because they want the 150. Or someone who bought the 150, the Primavera, wants to upgrade to the Sprint. Those are things that I understand, but those are very rare because kadalasan by the time they sell it at a good price, uunahan ka na isang reseller. Ilan na ng mga nakausap ko, they post it, I see it late, wala, nabenta na. And then you see that same scooter in the market after a few weeks. Pero iba na yung presyo, tumaas na. And then you also see a lot of them when you ask, sir, yung scooter ba nyo nasa pangalan nyo? Hindi. May open deed of sale lang ako. So you already know hindi sa kanila yung scooter. And they probably got it as for buy and sell. So all this frustration has led me to just keep on looking at the market, checking out what are the available ones, and I am so happy to let you guys know that there is a new player in this neo retro market. This is the Peugeot Django, which is going to be launched here in the Philippines very soon. And I found out about it is by seeing that Peugeot Philippines Motorcycle has just created their Facebook page. So, and then all the pictures, medyo pahit-hit lang is all leading towards this classic retro scooter. Now, remember, kung sino has the most right to call it a classic, it would be Peugeot. Not Vespa, not Lambretta, it's Peugeot. Remember, Peugeot is the oldest motorcycle manufacturer of motorcycles. And this new one that they are going to be launching, which is I think the Django 150, was based on their S55 that they launched in the late 40s. And you can really see where they got the inspiration for this scooter. And for me, and this is my personal opinion, I like it more than the Vespa, the Lambretta, or even the Royal Alloy. this one for me is the prettiest of all the classic scooter. The Vespas are cute, the Vespas are nice, but they've lost that really classic looking one, unless of course you're going to go with the PX. But I'm not sure if they are still being sold by the dealers here, because most of the scooters that are being sold here are the S125, the Sprint 150, the Primavera, the GTS. These are, they are classic, but they do look more modern compared to this Peugeot 150. What I am hoping for, so that I can really consider this, is if pasok siya sa budget, which means I hope it's not as expensive as the Vespa or even much lower sana. Since the Vespa 150s are my top contender, or at least one of my top choice before I found out about the Django, let's try to make some quick comparison between the two. They're both marked as 150, but actually the Django has a 150cc, and I know the Vespa has a 155cc, at least the newest engine, which means the Vespa is actually a bit more powerful. If I'm not mistaken, around 2 horsepower or 1 point something more horsepower. And of course has more torque, so performance wise will probably be leaning towards the Vespa. But for me, I'm not really after a performance, as long as it's capable to get me at a reasonable speed. I'm fine with that. If I wanted to go wall speed, I have my big bike for that. But as long as it's reasonably powered, I'm actually fine with it. As long as it won't struggle when there's an incline. It will get me to good speed within the metro. Remember, wala ka rin naman makakatawan dito sa metro, mas madalas na sa traffic ka. So, engine performance is not the top priority when I'm choosing for as a daily scooter. Now, both of these scooters are made of mostly metal parts, so both are actually on the heavy side, with the Peugeot slightly heavier at 140 kilos. I think the Vespa's around 130 kilos, but the Peugeot is also longer, has a longer wheelbase, and carries a bigger gas tank. I think has a 1.5 more liters na gas tank. So those add up, kaya that's why probably it's a bit heavier compared to the Vespa. And now if you frequent the Vespa forum or the Vespa groups, one of the most common question is, how do I lower my Vespa? Kasi medyo mataas yung seat height ng Vespa at 790mm. But the Django has a lower seat height of 770. So yung 20mm is actually a big difference, especially for someone who's going to be new to this whole motorcycle. And my plan was to get this because my daughter actually wants to also ride a scooter. My son also wants to learn how to ride a scooter. My son is tall, but my daughter is not. So the lowered seat height is actually going to be better for us because it's going to make us, or at least all of us, more comfortable if we're going to be using it. Now, when it comes to the safety aspects, Vespa or the Peugeot both have ABS, both have front and rear disc brakes. So I think when it comes to that department, halos tabla na yan. But where the Vespa is going to have a big advantage is in its community. I've joined a few of the Vespa clubs, the Vespa groups in Facebook, and the community is what really entices you to get the Vespa to be part of that community. Mukhang saya-saya nila. They always have group rides. But the thing here is, if I was buying a scooter for the social aspect of it, I think I wouldn't even have second thoughts, and I would just go buy Vespa to be part of that community. Pero sa akin kasi ngayon, I need a scooter for me to be able to just go around in a more affordable and yet still look nice when you're doing it. But when you think about it now, since the network of Vespa, or at least the user base of Vespa is really getting much bigger, there is also the market that supports this, which means there's now a lot more third-party service centers. You have a lot of people selling parts and accessories. So those are all something that makes the ownership a lot better when you go with the Vespa. But on the other hand, if there's a lot of Vespa users already, it removes the part of being unique. Because bawat lingon mo may naka-Vespa, bawat tingin mo doon may naka-Vespa. So, nawala na yung pagka-unique. So, this is probably where I really like the Django, because the Django is probably going to stand out. Just look at the color available for the Django on the international market. We're not yet sure what's going to be available here, but just look at the colors. The two-tone makes it really stand out. It really makes it look like a very nice classic one. The blue and white, the orange and white, di ba? Parang ang ganda sa kulay pa lang. Tapos you can see from the pictures, it does look like a much bigger scooter, which makes having a passenger, I think, fit better than if you had the Vespa. Parang mas compact tingnan yung Vespa na 150 compared to the Django 150. But here, just take a look at all these photos that I'll be posting. So, by the way, the Peugeot is brought to you by the people of Motostrada. Motostrada are the ones that carry the brand CF Moto and Via Gusta. No? So, if they're going to utilize that network already, then hopefully the Peugeot won't have any problems when it comes to service network. And I also hope they bring in the accessories, kasi since for the local market, this is going to be a new brand, new model. Accessories are going to be hard to find. So I hope they also bring in the accessories. So really can't wait for this to launch here. So I'm hoping it's going to be a lot sooner. Cross my fingers. I really want to wait for the launch of this Django. So thank you very much for listening to my vlog, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do like and subscribe. I'll see you again soon. Bye.